In this video, I'm going to show you how we automated 90% of our case study process. So because of AI and because of no-code tools, this is taking us pretty much no time, but the key thing is here, there still is a human in the loop aspect. We're using AI and no-code tools where it matters and where it helps, but having our human editors and writers actually do the part that makes the most sense. So this is a case study on the Whalesync website, but what's really cool about it is that it was written mostly by AI, and because of no-code tools has taken us about 10% of the time that it used to take us to write and publish these case studies. So in this video, I'll give you sort of the high level as well as the step-by-step of how we used no-code tools and AI to automate 90% of this case study process while keeping a human in the loop for the 10% that really matters, so you get it to be high enough quality that we were still really excited about it. So let me give you the high level first, and then we can dive into the step-by-step. So at a glance, here's how it all works. We use a tool called Grain to record calls with our customers. So we get permission from them to talk to them, to hear about their use case, and that is all transcribed into a line-by-line transcript by Grain. We then pop that into Notion. And so Notion is the place that we can edit, collaborate, and actually work on this case study. But what takes up or saves us so much time is we use Notion's AI writer to give us a first draft. So it takes the transcript and it turns that into a first draft that the team can work with. And then finally, we use Whalesync, our own tool, to sync that from Notion into Webflow so that we can display it and make it look beautiful like the case study you just saw. All right, so now that you have a good idea of the high level, let me show you the step-by-step. So if we hop into Grain, this is where it all starts. Grain is a really, really amazing tool. And again, if you haven't used it, highly recommend checking it out. But basically, it just transcribes every word of this call where we ask the customer to give us their use case. Once it's done, you can hop into this little three dots up here and hit download transcript and then docx, right? And what that will do is give you a doc like this one, which is literally just the whole transcript. What I can then do is just hit Command A and copy this whole doc and bring it over into Notion. So Notion is where this all lives, and you can see one from before. Let's delete it so you can just see this from scratch. But basically, it's the place that we go to work with all of our new case studies. It's where our team likes to collaborate and write content. Of course, this will be empty to start. In order to just automate a little extra piece of it here, we're using Zapier to create this new record in our customer stories table. So if we go to Zapier, you can see how this is set up. Basically, whenever a recording is added in Grain, Zapier runs a little AI analysis to just grab the company that was a part of that recording. So in this case, it's called Material Security, and then create a database item in Notion. So I'll retest that step just so you can see what would happen once this was turned on and fully automated. So that ran. If I pop back over to Notion, you can see here, let's go ahead and see it. There we go. Material Security has been created. It included my Grain recording link, so I can just open this up if I wanted to pop back over to that Grain recording. And it included a status of draft, right? So by default, everything that's here that's going to be sent to Webflow is just going to be a draft. Now, because it's in Notion, I can do really cool stuff. So I can first of all just link it to the Material Security customer. So there's an actual relationship there. And more importantly, I can open up Notion and just pop in this this transcript. And this will literally just be here for my team to work with. Of course, in a non-AI world, this would still be pretty helpful to have the transcript in Notion. The team can work off of that and start to write the case study. But even better is I can go ahead and just highlight this whole thing. And then basically once this is highlighted, I'll have to do this again, highlight the whole thing from the bottom. And once this is all highlighted, I can just ask AI to go ahead and write me a case study. So in this case, what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and pop in this little prompt that's saying to take the call transcript recording and turn it into an engaging case study for me. So I'll hit go. The AI will think for a little bit. And then in another 10 seconds or so, it's going to start to write out this whole case study, which is super, super cool. Look at this. It even is including headings. It's just laying this out in a way that makes sense. Great. Let's go ahead and insert it. We can insert below. Let's delete everything we got up here just to make this a little cleaner. And there we go. We have our first draft of our case study. Now, like I was talking about in the beginning, this, of course, we could go live with. But we have a higher quality bar for what goes live than whatever AI just spits out. But it is a really good starting point. So being in Notion, I can come in here and make edits. I can, for example, pop in an image, which is just super nice, right? So maybe we're showing off a HubSpot screenshot as part of this case study. I can comment here and say, hey, Joel, would you take a look right? But yeah, basically Notion, you get to take advantage of all the superpowers of Notion. And whenever this is done, I can also use Notion to write a little pipeline for me. So if you go back to Webflow here, right, we've got our case study as the bottom rich text. But we also have this little short, pipeline that just gives a little summary. So what I've done is set up an AI to run here, and I can just hit it. And there we go. Achieve seamless two-way synchronization. Great. That sounds like a good pipeline to me. Now, what's really cool is that while I'm writing all of this, I have my other tool, WhaleSync, which is updating it and sending it to Webflow. So just to sort of see that really quickly, WhaleSync is looking at what's in Notion and syncing it to our Webflow customer stories, right? And you can see this in action. It's literally watching for changes, running operations, and there we go. It updated this one with the pipeline. And so if we come back over to Webflow and we go ahead and refresh, this last one will be deleted because we deleted it earlier there in the video. But then we can click on over to our newest ones. All right, this one is gone. Now let's click over to the new one. And there we go. This is that same pipeline, achieved seamless two-way synchronization. And here is this exact case study that we just created. So hopefully this gives you a really good sense of just how much BS and wasted time you can cut out using AI and no-code tools like Notion, like WhaleSync, and like Webflow, and basically take your case study process to the next level. We're now able to write, again, 5 or 10 times as many case studies as we would because we're really just focused on talking to customers and then editing what the AI has taken out of that. So let us know if you have any questions. I hope that helps.